All right. I promised you guys Tucker. Well, we got to get into the latest Tucker because it's just, it's crazy. I cannot believe he said this. I'm not going to play this. It's 5 minutes long. And it's late. But Tucker went through a whole thing today in this interview. Not a single Western city thriving. Sharia law is made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. I mean, I'll play a second.
So much that I see it. There's not a single Western city that's thriving. And they're all degrading in exactly the same way.
Is a lot of it just a moral?
So he's not wrong about Western cities. Okay. This is what Tucker does. It actually like keeps a lot of people still watch him and trust in him. He does say things that are true. Just like Nick Fuentes says stuff that are true, and it's like the great deceivers always package their lies in truth. That's what the devil did. I mean, he does it to Jesus in Matthew 4 in the wilderness. He packages lies in truth. And so to say that part is not wrong. Okay. We've had a lot of decay in the West. I don't know if you could prove every single Western city, but I'd say it's definitely most of them. The crazy thing is what he follows it up with is about Sharia law, making Islamic societies more advanced than the West. First of all, there's not a single Islamic city more advanced than the West. The most advanced cities in the Middle East and in Islamic societies are in secular places like Dubai. Dubai is basically secular. They're not Islamic, even though a lot of them might claim Islamic. They're not. This is not how they run the place. So, and it's definitely not under Sharia law. That's insanity. And so for Tucker to be saying like that is his conclusion. I mean, yesterday it was China. Today it's Islam. How is this guy supposed to be America first? That's where we're at. This is at the point where like Tucker, he either hates our country or, and is gladly trying to ruin what's going on in our country right now to actually rebuild it and reclaim it and make it great again. Or he's literally just like lost his mind. What else could there be? This is so factually untrue. It's crazy. But also not only is it untrue, it's just in a way it's like offensive. And I don't mean it's offensive like, oh, I'm offended, but I mean, it's offensive in the fact that like, it's so obviously untrue and it's so anti-American to say this and anti-Christian to believe this as a guy who's supposed to be a Christian. But this is where you can see the influence of like that Alexander Dugin guy who I've been looking into more. You can see the influence, just the propaganda influence on Tucker and how he's spreading this stuff, because there is this major belief system going out there. Well, not a belief system, but a great lie being perpetrated by Tucker, Dave Smith, and others about this whole idea that the only reason like Muslims are mean or do bad things is because we bomb them, which is one of the stupidest things anybody's ever said. I mean, it's insanely stupid. Islam is a violent religion, always has been. It believes in power by taking power. It's complete opposite of, say, Christianity and so on and so forth, and other religions like Buddhism. But it's always compared to Christianity, right? Except it's very different. And just because they say they believe in the same God doesn't mean they do, right? When everything else is different. But the point is like they've always been like this. They've always taken by conquering and by violently forcing people to commit and to change and follow their religion and become subject to them. That's the story of Islam since 700 AD with Muhammad. Okay, so for Tucker to say this, it's just it's like insanely stupid. But this is what's going on out there. And it makes you wonder, like, why even lie like this? But they're just going further and further down, the deep end. Here's Tucker just a few years ago. saying in his book, Ship of Fools, Tucker Carlson wrote, immigration from Muslims led to a wave of sex crimes and medieval Islamic customs, which is Sharia law, are the biggest threat to Western social advances, and that Islamic law is distinguished only by its level of violence. That was 2018. And now he's saying the opposite. I mean, here's his words right here. It's insane stuff. And what we're seeing right now is because these people finally like outed themselves, whether it's Tucker or Candace or Ian Carroll or Dave Smith, whoever, because these guys have like outed themselves as who they really are, in turning against real MAGA and Trump, they're also like crashing out as things are starting to, as Trump, basically what I've been showing you guys this whole live tonight, whole show, is that Trump has actually been flipping the script again, and he's starting to gain momentum again because Trump always figures it out. He just does. And he also always knows how to use leverage better than anybody else. That's just a fact. And he's got the most leverage. So when you know how to use the leverage and you have the most leverage, you're always going to win unless you're stupid. And Trump's obviously not. So he's in the driver's seat. He holds all the cards, and this is making a lot of the influencers crash out because they're starting to realize that they're not moving the needle at all. So what do you do in that case? Well, you either try to kiss up, come back, or you go crazier and crazier, just trying to hope you find something that sticks and hurts them. And that's what I think we're watching right now. I mean, Candace is going the opposite way, or the same way as Tucker, saying that a likely scenario, talking about Trump's dealing with the Iranians, is that Kushner and Witkoff are lying to Trump about peace talks. I mean, honestly, you think like his son-in-law and one of his oldest friends, it's a likely scenario they're lying to him about peace talks? How stupid is this woman? Oh, but Trump is too stupid to realize they work for Adelson and Netanyahu and not him. Really? Okay, so your very own son-in-law, okay, you could make the case maybe. Odds are very low, but okay, maybe. But then the guy you've been doing real estate with in New York for years and years and years, you've probably known everything about him. You've gone with him through deal after deal, known for 30, 40 years. You made him your main guy, that, diplomat, and you didn't know that he was completely controlled by Israel. I don't think so. That Trump has some of the best instincts we've ever seen. He might have the best political instincts of the modern age. And we're supposed to believe that he would have chose Steve Witkoff and he was just too stupid to realize he was controlled by Israel. So dumb. Says he's leaving Plato's allegory of the cave. Kushner makes shadows on. Okay. This is so ridiculous. But again, this is what they're doing, man. They're just trying to undermine Trump. And remember what I kept telling you guys, how like these people, when they're being smart, they don't go directly at Trump because they know then they'll lose a lot of their audience. What they do is they try to paint Trump as either the victim of the bubble he lives in or he's stupid, like Candace just said. It's insane. It's insane. It shows you exactly who they are, because only an idiot or a complete shill would say this. That's it. You're either getting paid to say this or you're a complete moron. There's no in between. So enjoy your boot, Candace. Here's Bannon lately, his guest lately. Don't fall for the psyop. Bannon's been one of the ones where a lot of people challenge me the most. No, Bannon's a patriot. He's good. You're wrong about Bannon. I just don't see it. Well, just look at who he's platforming. Posobiec, okay, Poso's always there. Not everybody agrees Poso is intelligence, even though he was Navy intelligence. But look, Tucker, Megan, they've both been crashing out. Joe Kent, is that Ian Rankin? Yeah, this guy who said that Trump's assassination would be the best thing that could happen. We have General Flynn, he's getting worse and worse by the minute. Alex Jones has been crashing out. MTG, Cerno. They all, birds of a feather, guys. They're all flocking together. And it sucks. I'll be completely honest with you. I was a big fan of Tucker for a while. Megan's show was great for about 2 years. I never really paid much attention to Kent. I've been back and forth on Flynn for a while. Alex, I loved Alex Jones. Like, it doesn't mean I always believed everything on his show, but I enjoyed the guy and I thought he was a total patriot. And then the crash out just started happening and it's gotten worse and worse. And he keeps trying to scramble and weasel his way back in. But man, when you're regularly having Nick Fuentes on your show and acting like he knows what he's talking about, that's crazy. MTG, we all know about her. And Cerno, this guy's been defrauding MAGA for a long time. Now, you could point to each one of these people and say they've done something good for the movement, and you'd be right. Every single one of them has done something good. But guys, that's how you get close. That's how you deceive. You weasel your way in. That's how you play double agent. So I'm at the point where every single one of these people on here, I believe, is either just doing it for the money, they're grifting, or they're some sort of double agent. But Bannon is hosting all of them, and that tells you all you need to know. Or the Epstein text, the 2000 Epstein text, maybe that tells you all you need to know. But again, if you're still on the fence about Bannon, guys, just look who he's hanging out with. Okay? I mean, the best thing we can do, guys, is just make sure all these people lose all their views and support. And that's the best thing we can do. And now the thing they're all doubling down right now, and it's because they're noticing the polls aren't moving. They went all out. They smelled, or they thought they smelled blood in the water with the Iran war. And so they went all out. And now look, they're just, it's kind of pathetic, honestly. They're all just hanging out with each other, thinking they're changing the world, and yet nobody cares. Pretty crazy. It's crazy to watch this go down. Speaking of turning back, Joe Kent, of all people, the guy who came out, resigned from the Trump administration last week, called out Trump as controlled by Israel, made the rounds on all the influencer shows, today came out and said Trump is working to get peace with Iran. If he can make this happen, it will be very good for our nation and allies in the Gulf. The Israelis will be against this, but POTUS is strong and can get them on board. I thought he was controlled by Israel. Joe, what is it? Can you ever make up your mind? Now, I will say this. Joe hasn't been on this long enough for us to 100% say he's bad. Is it possible Joe's pulling the rug out on all these people, exposing them? I don't know. I would say it's much more likely he's one of them and wants to be one of them. I would say that's definitely the more likely scenario. But when he's putting stuff out like this right after doing the circuit, it does make you wonder. It's like, okay, maybe there's something different going on. I don't know, but it's pretty crazy because this sounds very opposite of what he wrote last week when the whole world was watching. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, but it's pretty crazy. But I'll tell you what, Trump is telling us how he feels about it all. And this is big news. Trump is skipping CPAC for the first time in a decade. So ever since Trump started running for president and became president the first time, he has been to every single CPAC as the headline speaker. Every single one. About a week ago, CPAC announced Steve Bannon as being one of their main speakers. Big. Steve Bannon and some of the other influencers getting pulled in, being announced as speakers. And Trump is like, cool, I'm out. Doesn't that kind of tell you all you need to know? That's Trump telling us CPAC is not MAGA. And it's also him saying, I'm not going to share the stage with these people. I think Trump just told us everything we need to know. CPAC's a big deal. That's a big speech every year. So for Trump to pull out, that's going to crush CPAC. And we got to watch. I mean, but I do think the main reason is Bannon. I think he's done. So it's pretty crazy to see. CA Human says, I met him at CPAC. Wow. Lisa says, Joe scrambling. He's not smart enough to play on that level. Might be true. But this is the end of an era, though. Think about it. Trump not going to CPAC. That's the Conservative Political Action Committee. He's now saying it's MAGA or bust. And he's also saying I'm MAGA. As he called out Tucker, said Tucker's never been MAGA. He called out Steve Bannon in the past, and then he's been nice to him lately. But then all the Epstein files came out, which everybody pushed for him to get out, and it vindicated Trump and made Bannon look terrible. And now he's distancing from Bannon. I think, guys, this part of what Trump's been doing and doing all this wild stuff, Venezuela, ramping up ICE, going to Davos, and now, like, this year has been crazy, and now Iran. That's all the first 3 months of this year, though, guys. I mean, wow. 2026, wild year. Happy 250th, America. But what has Trump done? He pushed all the influencers to the edge where they had to reveal themselves. Genius, man. Genius. And again, him pulling out of CPAC here, it's just him showing, again, he holds all the cards. Because now who's going to care about CPAC? Now who's going to watch CPAC? He just rug pulled him. He just was like, I'm done. I'm showing you guys, watch where the movement goes. Watch where MAGA follows. And I guarantee you, Trump's going to prove MAGA follows him. He's the man. That's how it's going. And these influencers are going to continually lose viewership and influence. Just watch. Master move right there.